Hi, welcome back to Alaskan in the Philippines, currently in Thailand. Today I thought I'd share with you a story about how I got to coming to Asia and thinking about it and what brought me here in the end. I have to start off back about 10 years ago. I live in a native village, small village, out in the middle of the boonies. You gotta fly in, you gotta fly out, everything's expensive. The snow and the weather is harsh. The storms every week, we get a bad storm, summer and winter. It's just I would say some of the most terrible weather on the planet, really. West coast of Alaska. All them storms you see like on the Deadliest Catch, all them storms them boys are in out in the ocean. Well, those hit us right inland. because I was 70 miles in from the Bering Sea. So we get deep snow. I would get snow up to the top of the hood of my pickup truck because I couldn't use the road. It was blown in all winter. So I had to use exclusive snow machines to get around, to get to town, to check my mail and to go to the store in town. There was 2 small stores, so it wasn't total wilderness, but it was, you had to fly out there. It was 450 miles west of Anchorage. No road to it. But anyhow, I got to thinking, I was reading a book actually about another trapper. I was a trapper and fur buyer and stuff, so I got to reading about all this. And I read about one guy that was, he lived out in the boonies, out in the bush himself, in the woods, and at around 85, the wood chopping and everything, it gets too much for you. You got to keep ahead of the wood pile. It's a mind-boggling amount of wood you have to burn to keep warm from about, say September to, April. You really are burning wood. And if you're living out there, you're burning wood to cook on too. So it's year round. You're literally chopping wood year round, almost always, or getting wood, logs and stuff. So I knew it would be too hard for me. But anyway, that guy eventually at 85 years old, he walked out and walked back to Fairbanks and walked himself into an old folks home and checked himself in. And I thought to myself, is that really what I want to do? Because I'm going to get old out here in my nearest place. I'll be living in an old folks home in Anchorage or Bethel, Alaska, which I really didn't really want to do it. And thinking about it, just be stuck in the winter there and nothing to see out the window but just a sheet of white, And I thought to myself, I better find a better place to retire. And I know I can't just live there forever where I was. Although I love the lifestyle. And I could have got old there doing it. I could have been there another 10 years. But about 10 years back, I started thinking about this. And I thought to myself, well, Asia, So I started doing probably what a lot of you guys are doing, watching YouTube videos and stuff. And I got to learn, and I got online on the dating, and I went, I wanted to check out, I got a passport. That was the first thing. It was hard to do. I had to actually fly into Anchorage to get a passport. And while I was in there, I took a vacation. I actually had so much going on at the time. I was a fur buyer. I was buying antler. I was manufacturing dog chew toys out of antler and selling those on Amazon. I had a girl that was living with me. She was helping me with my fur business, and she actually started my Amazon business for me too. And I also had a fishing permit, so I was fishing. So when I wasn't buying fur in the summer or antler in the winter, or buying fur and antler in the winter, I was fishing in the summer, commercial salmon fishing, and me and her would fish salmon. And that kept me busy. And then I had just so much going on. I was also doing classes. I would fly into villages and I was teaching natives how to trap and how to put up fur properly. They had lost it through generations of low prices. So I started buying fur through another bigger company that put up the money. It was one of our fishing co-ops here on the coast. They were trying to get it was money put aside from all the Bering Sea fishing going on. We had actually included us in a share, and they put it into a co-op. It was worth hundreds of millions of dollars. So I had unlimited access to money. I could charter planes and I did. I had to charter plane in and out to buy fur, or charter in to do a course on how to put up fur or something. So I literally traveled around the west coast of Alaska, flying into Indian and Eskimo villages, buying fur and selling trapping supplies and stuff. And I bought skulls and stuff. And then back home, when I was home, I would be buying antler there and then manufacturing them, shipping the manufactured dog chew toys, which were just cut pieces of antler, packaged and shipped to Amazon, and Amazon was selling them for me. So I got the bright idea. I was hoping I could retire from this early, and I was trying to find a way, because I had my Amazon business. I thought if I could just load a bunch of inventory up and ship it into Amazon, I could have my sales going on while I lived in Asia, retire early. And I just could never make it work, but I could make it work to where I could go out anytime I wanted it. If I could get away in Alaska, the season which I could get away from, but I was busy most of the winter. I literally had to shut down the shop in the winter to take off. Or in the summer, I could go before fishing. So I found times when I could go, and I did. I went to Bangkok first after I got my passport. I did a test run just to Bangkok for a week. Just a week. It's all I could get away for. And it showed me how to travel, and it gave me confidence enough to travel alone and get through these big giant airports like Bangkok Airport, because I knew I was a country boy and I'd be lost. Anchorage is the biggest airport I've ever seen. So flying through Seattle Airport and all that kind of, but I learned how to do it. And then I didn't like the language barrier thing in Thailand. And Bangkok really wasn't, I didn't really want to see a big city. I was just a test run. So then I thought, well, where could I go else that maybe they speak English? And I thought of the Philippines and researched it. Of course, the Philippines, they speak English, everybody said. And I got on a dating site, and I met a girl from there, from the Dumaguete actually, and we chatted for a while, and I got to know her and flew back and forth meeting her up and hanging out with her. And I had plans for her when I retire. When I met her, she was taking care of a Korean woman that was paralyzed, and I asked her how much she made, and she says 105,000 a month pesos. That's like $100 a month. She took care of a bedridden lady, and that was wiping her butt and everything, and she taking care of her, bathing her and everything. I thought, wow, if I could hire a girl for 5,000 a month, I could live in luxury and wouldn't be pampered and wouldn't have to live in an old folks home in a snowstorm somewhere in the bowels of Alaska. So that was my newfound plan, was to go there and live there and hire a girl, and actually made a deal with her. She'd take care of me, but but that kind of fell apart throughout the years. So after the Philippines, I thought, well, I better try something new, see if I can. I didn't really like it there. It's nice if you're in with some good people. It could be a great place and a nice location. There is some nice beaches, but otherwise the day-to-day begging and the dirty pollution and the bad air, everybody burns garbage there, and the leaf burning is just smokes up the whole town, and the traffic is crazy. So it wasn't really my ideal situation. So after that went south, I got out of there, and I decided to check out Thailand again, give it another chance, because I researched a little bit and I found Hue Hin is not too crowded and it's not too dead, so it's going to be kind of a medium-sized town, and I might like it a little better, and it sounded a little cleaner and nicer and more options of things to do and places to go. So but anyway, back to where I was in the U.S. still, and I had to figure out a way to get out of the U.S. still, retire early with my Amazon business. I couldn't do it. I actually had to be there for the antler buying, to buy the antler. And then the fishing has been shut down. So actually my fur buying deal I started up a fur buying company and turned it into the largest fur dealer in Alaska through the help of the backing of that money. And I was buying fur from like 7-8 villages and buying hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of valuable fur every year and turning it around and selling it on the fur market, like in Seattle, the big auctions and stuff. I would actually go down to Seattle at the big auctions and watch our fur sell and follow it. It was pretty neat. It was fun. I was a big shot there for a while, making great money doing it too. But then I had the company, one of the guy I was working for who ran the fish company, we also bought salmon. It was the big salmon buyer out in that area. So the salmon fishery got shut down due to all the off-seas fishing, the ones that we were making money off. Ironically, they're the ones that I believe killed our fishery. So our fishery got shut down, and this guy got jealous because my fur company was doing so good that he actually set me up to get fired because he knew all the board members real well. He was chums with all the board guys. And so he actually got me fired once when I put him on a spot and I made him. They wouldn't help me. They helped me financially, but they would never get me a building, and I needed help to do it. And I demanded they hire this person to help me. My helper quit. The girl that had been helping me for 3 years, she had to go back to the States, and I hired another girl out of Anchorage to help me. And she came out and was already starting to help, but they wouldn't put her on the payroll they were trying to prod me into being they were trying to get me out is what they were trying to do, because this guy didn't have nothing to do now and he wanted to take my spot. He always wanted to be a fur buyer. I could tell the way he was really, really on the edge of his seat, really happy with what I did. So he actually pushed me right out. They actually fired me and never gave me a reason why they fired me. When I told them I needed this girl and we got to start getting busy, it was fur buying season. They just said, "Well, sorry, you're fired. We no longer need your services." And I was like, I don't care. I was done with them anyway. So I went on and I still had my antler buying business and my Amazon business, and that was taking off, doing really good. And I was selling quite a bit on every month, enough to make it. I could live on it where I was in the village there. A lot of my bills, I didn't have a lot of bills. I get a lot of my food for free. I was hunting my own meat. A lot of my food was free, and I burned wood, so I didn't have a lot of expenses. My electric bill was $150 a month. So I had some money saved in the bank from the fur business, and it's too bad it all kind of went south at once. The fur buying I got fired from, and then the fishing quit too. So that was two of my businesses that went down at once. And then COVID hit, and then I had only the antler buying, and I had the Amazon business of making dog chews. And Amazon was getting greedier and greedier by the day. By the year, they were cutting into it. They were making life hard. They would shut you down for stupid little reasons, just setting up roadblocks for you. They actually would try to steal your business right out from underneath you, and they did it to a lot of people. Amazon is just a horrible place to sell on. And then I had competition on there that was coming on, and they were working hard they would buy my product and give it a bad review, and reviews are everything on Amazon. If you get a bad review, they don't sell. Every one of my products was an Amazon choice at one time. Every one of them. I have a whole line of dog chews on there. I used to. They're probably still listed. I still have one I think they're selling still. I haven't been paid for a while. They owe me about $80 still. But anyway, I just had enough of it. I knew when I could retire, I was going to do it. So I set up, and 3 months before I was 62, I signed up for my Social Security. Ain't a whole lot, but because I lived out in the village, but it'll get me by. So far, it's been enough to get me by, plus my savings. I still have my fishing permit. I could go back and fish if I wanted to. I left my daughter with my house and my trucks and everything. I told her she could have the Amazon business if she wanted it, but she's got a couple of good jobs working for the tribe there, and she works for the school district, so she's not interested in that. So I actually just shut down my great business and left her with everything. Gave her keys to everything and just walked away. Her and her boyfriend. It'll help her get a new start in life. It's a great location right outside of town in the village. To be right in the middle of the village, it gets wild in the villages. The alcohol starts flowing on a Friday night. It starts getting wild. The shooting, just craziness goes on there. And I'm glad to see her out of the middle of it. I have 2 daughters back in Alaska, both grown, both have their own relationships, and they're doing okay. They got their own houses, so they don't need me there. I'll come back whenever they call me to come and visit anytime I will. But right now, she's got everything in my house, and they have another house there, a duplex she can live in too. So I could come back whenever I want. But as my option for actually moving back there, it's probably not going to happen because of just I'm giving her everything I have, and I'm going to make a go of it somewhere else. If I don't make it here, I'm going to try a new country. We'll see. So you never know. But so far, I really like it here in Hue Hin, Thailand. I think if I can find a way to stay, I think I'm going to stay for long term and use this for a home base to go visit the other Asian countries nearby, Cambodia, Vietnam, Malaysia maybe. It don't cost much to fly there. You can drive to some of them too, so that's another option. I got a lot to explore just from being here, so if I can turn over a new leaf and learn it all new from here, I think it's great. And I got my Social Security to fund me along the way. I'm hoping I can find something else to do to keep busy. I want to, like I say, get a garden going, a few animals, a dog would be nice, some chickens, that would be great. And if I could do that, I could slowly get old here in a much easier lifestyle than I could have in Alaska, basically. That's my point. That was what I was searching for. And so far, I think I found the place I can do that. But we'll see. Only time will tell. But anyway, hopefully that helped you guys in your decision making and your process thinking of how you're going to do it and pull it off. But just keep your head to keep the eye on the ball, and you'll figure it out. Well, thanks for watching. Good luck to your journey, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.